Well, good Monday morning, Bakersfield, surrounding communities, and everybody watching online on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook Live. This is the Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk, 101.1 FM, 12:30 a.m. I'm Chris Burdick. That's Sparky. Sparky, good morning, my friend.
Good morning.
Let them know what they're in for.
Oh, we got all sorts of stuff to talk about. We could talk about the NCAA, both the men's side, the women's side. We got a new champ. We got a busy weekend over the weekend. I got to watch Project Hail Mary, got to watch Mario, so I'll give you a quick recap. Plus, it's Monday, Make You Laugh Monday. We'll have Trevor Chavez coming in, I believe, by himself at 8 o'clock, followed by our boy Snacks, that we could talk all things basketball. You can call or text in anytime throughout the show at 661-842-2000. And how about Michigan, baby?
At this point, you got a pretty good shot, but you
50-50.
You still got to take on Mr. Dan Hurley and this UConn team that's won 2 championships in 4 years. Could
Line
be
'em up.
3. Yeah, this is going to be a really fun game tonight. We're going to break it down for you. Plus, Luka is seeking treatment out in Europe. He's aiming for a return during the playoffs, and Laker fans right now are desperate for that because obviously with him going down and Austin Reeves going down, the Lakers' chances are dwindling at making it out of the West. To be fair, they weren't that big to begin with, but it's not no shot on them. It's just who they're going up against, man. This Western Conference is stacked.
I know we talk wrestling on Tuesdays with our boy 24KG, but we got to sometime somewhere in this show bring up the return of what SmackDown was and Pat McAfee making his return. But we'll get into that.
I'm not gonna lie, at first wasn't crazy about it.
No.
But it has grown on me. It has since grown on me a little bit here, and I'll explain why at some point during the show. And if you're a wrestling fan, next week you're going to want to be listening to us because it's WrestleMania week, and I'm sorry, but we're going to be talking wrestling ad nauseum. You think we talk NFL a lot?
It's Super Bowl week for wrestling.
Oh, baby. And that's all we're going to be talking next week is all WrestleMania. So if you're a wrestling fan or you know a wrestling fan and they, are interested in joining a conversation when it comes to wrestling, feel free to listen to us all next week. But this week, especially today, we have the national championship game for the men's side. The women's side was fantastic, and we had a great game, even though it was a blowout, unfortunately. And we'll get to Dawn Staley and all the controversy around her right now. Love Dawn Staley, and to be honest with you, I think this is just a case of a certain coach being real salty that they got kicked out. But we'll talk about that in a second. Let's start with the men's side of this, though, because the game tonight, as Sparky was just teasing, the Michigan Wolverines dominating the Arizona Wildcats on Saturday, up by 30 at one point, just looked like the most offensively consistent team in NCAA tournament history. They're now the only team in NCAA tournament history to score 90 points in 5 straight games in the tournament. They're the 3rd highest scoring team in tournament history behind teams like UNLV back in 90, Kentucky back in 93. I mean, this team looks really, really, really good. Really good. If it wasn't for the bald man on the other side, Dan Hurley, and this team that for some reason just doesn't lose championship games at all. You heard our guy Bolt Brady mention it last week. I believe he said it was 14-0 against the spread after Sweet 16.
Yep. He also said Michigan had no chance.
This is true. And he even dropped a video, which I noticed that a certain somebody had also reposted on our socials.
I'm going to share that.
We love Bolt. We love everything Bolt Brady does. Go watch.
But anytime you could beat a sports handicapper, you gotta throw it out
somebody that is the top 5% of what he does.
Exactly.
I mean, this is somebody that you should be listening to if you're a sports bettor. He will make you some money. We wouldn't be bringing him on the show if he's a scrub, man. I'm telling you.
Right.
But Sparky's absolutely right. His lock was Arizona this weekend, as was mine. But I had Arizona winning the whole dang shebang. So
it should make. I mean, this game tonight should be a barn burner. But looking at all the stats, I mean, I know Michigan has been averaging, defeats by 20 plus.
Yes.
But I think this one will be a lot closer.
This is the most winningest team in Michigan history. Even better than the Fab Five, believe it or not. But the one thing on the Michigan side that makes me concerned, okay, because I did do a little bit of research into this. True that this is the most winningest team in Michigan history, 36 wins throughout this entire season. Usurping their 33-win season back in 2017, 2018. But when you take into account their most winningest teams, Sparky, 2017, 2018 with 33, 2012, 2013 with 31, 92, 93, that's the Fab Five with 31. Each and every one of them lost in the championship game. All of them did. The only team that didn't was the only other championship they have, which was back in 1988-89 when they won the championship by 1 point over Seton Hall. Now, I know what you're saying. This is a completely different team, completely different coach. What the hell does that matter? In college sports, believe it or not, it matters. History matters because there is a stigma that goes around this. Now, I'm not saying that Michigan can't pull this off. They have a great chance to pull this off, especially with just how offensively gifted they are. But you're going up against a team in Dan Hurley, or led by Dan Hurley, that has 3 stud guards, really. One's a swingman in Mullins, but he's a guard who also, by the way, pretty much won the game for them against Illinois the other night, too. So this kid's got ice in his veins, and he's playing lights out right now. There's a good chance that Dan Hurley figures out a way to slow this offense down.
I mean, they aren't unbeatable.
No.
We've seen them get beat by Duke. We've seen them get beat by Purdue. But the real question to me is, one of their guards is in a walking boot this morning.
Yes.
And I'm wondering if he's still if he's going to try to push it and play. If not, I mean, that's another starting guard out of the lineup.
Yes.
I still think it's going to be a hell of a matchup. I know Vegas odds, I believe, as of this morning, was Michigan by 7.5.
That's what I saw as well.
So I'm going to roll with Michigan, but I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think.
I agree with you. I'm going to roll with Dan Hurley just to be opposite of you. I knew you would be taking Michigan today, but there's also things that I feel like this could go the way of the UConn Huskies here. I mean, look at what they just did to the Illini. The Illini's offense is very much like Michigan's, very high paced. They want to score a lot, and they're very good at shooting the three. UConn is very good at slowing teams down to a snail's pace. And when you're playing at an uncomfortable pace, it's really, really, really hard to play championship basketball. I think when you really look at these two teams, roster for roster, there's a lot of good matchups that we're going to witness here tonight, which also leads me to say that means the edge, for me at least, is going to come down to coaching and what coach is going to beat the other one and going to be able to adapt better to the other one's playing style. Said the same thing about the Super Bowl. It really does come down to which coach is better at adaptability. And personally, I just trust Dan Hurley's ability to do that, as we've seen multiple times now in the last 4 years. And UConn now could potentially have their 3rd championship in 4 years. And as I said to Bolt last week, I think we need to start talking about this guy as one of the better, if not best, coaches in college basketball history. And now, again, does he usurp a Wooden or a Krzyzewski? No, not yet. But he keeps winning like this. We're going to be talking about him like he is. I don't think he's ever going to get to the point where he's going to be better than those two men. But I could see Dan Hurley's name in that category by the end of his career when he wants to hang it up.
Especially if he continues to do what he's doing.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, I am impressed with Dan Hurley. I'm impressed with this Wolverines team, though, and Dusty May. This is going to be a fantastic basketball game tonight. It really is. And Sparky said it last week, and I'm going to have to echo it, but when the consistency of one team beats the ceiling of another, usually you should go with the consistency. So I honestly think tomorrow I could be eating crow, and Sparky might be, dancing his way into the championship round.
It's between me and Hop.
Exactly. Oh, is it really?
Mm-hmm.
Does it matter who wins? Like, how
if Michigan wins, I pull it. If UConn wins, he's got it.
Does he have UConn winning the whole thing? Did he really?
Yep.
Good for Michael Hopper.
Well, he's also got Michigan in another one.
Does he
he
really?
played both sides.
Well, anyway, either way, it's smart basketball. That's smart. If you're playing in these brackets, having multiple brackets usually works out in your favor. I only did one this year, but that's because I just felt like I didn't watch enough college basketball to really be able to fill out two, if I'm being completely honest. And I didn't want to.
And after I saw, Michigan lose that game to Purdue, everyone started counting them out. And I was like, well, they're still a good team, dude. I mean, I knew everyone was taking Duke, which how did that work out?
Right.
And besides that, it was Duke, Arizona were all the picks I was seeing. So I had to switch it up, but it gives me a reason to watch. I mean, I think this is going to be a hell of a game. I would be surprised if it's a 7.5 spread at the end.
That's the thing. I'm like,
That's a lot of points,
that's a
man.
lot. I don't think Dan Hurley loses by 7.5. Although last time UConn scored 90 points was March 12th. So it's been almost a month since they've even sniffed 90 points. And that was against Villanova in the championship game. Or I'm sorry, not the championship game, the Big East tournament. I apologize. But still, I don't know. There's some things about this game that are just making me feel like it's all lining up UConn again. The fact that they are 7.5 points down, and Dan Hurley now is 11-0 against the spread from the Sweet 16 on, and 18-1 since 2023.
That's a lot of points
It,
for a team that has been in 3 out of the 4, the last
what I'm
4.
saying.
That's a lot.
That's
of
a lot of
points in a
points.
spread.
I've said this about the Duke situation when UConn beat Duke. At some point, experience really does kill. And there's a different kind of experience in playing in the March Madness tournament and playing in the championship game of the March Madness tournament. So UConn has tasted this many times. They know what it takes to win this trophy. Michigan has not. So I don't know. Again, that's why I'm really leaning UConn tonight. I really am. But again, I could be completely wrong. UConn's consistency on offense obviously is going to be killer and really hard to stop. So UConn's going to have to keep this team at least in 80-point range, 70 if they get lucky on defense.
And slowing them down.
That's all you have to do.
You were saying.
It's all about slowing them down to a snail's pace and making sure they don't get out in transition, which UConn does very, very well. They did very well against the Illini on Saturday. That's how they beat the Illini and caused them to shoot so poorly because, again, when you're a team that usually gets out in transition a lot, you gets those easy baskets, those easy 2-3 pointers, it makes the game a lot easier to sustain.
Oh, yeah. You got to make them uncomfortable.
So we'll see what happens tonight. It's going to be a fantastic game. And hopefully, if you guys have any money down on it, you're going to make some money because if you listen to Bolt, we were supposed to have Arizona in the championship. So unfortunately, this time we're not.
I would think Bolt is probably thinking 7.5 points is a lot of points.
Yes, 100%. And I think that he's probably leaning towards UConn because of that as well. But he's also been high on UConn since the beginning of this tournament. So we'll see.
Speaking of UConn.
Shifting over to the women's side of this, do you want to start with the pregame hug situation? Because that if you don't pay attention to women's basketball, the championship for them was yesterday. Dawn Staley, South Carolina, the team that took out UConn in the Final Four, went up against UCLA. UCLA vying for their first ever championship in women's program history, pulls it off in pretty handed fashion last night. I believe, the 79-51 was the final. I believe this is the third largest deficit in a championship game in D1 women's sports history. We'll get to that in a second as well, because Dawn Staley is responsible for 2 of those games. But there's controversy around this game just solely because of what happened in the Final Four. Dawn Staley pregame, and if you don't follow college sports, you may not know that there are some traditions and whatnot that go on, especially with the coaching staff, that happen every game pregame. One is the pregame handshakes. Now, during the game between South Carolina and UConn, Dawn Staley does go up to Coach Gino Auriemma, shakes his hand, shakes the hand of every assistant coach as well, and then she goes to her sideline. We get the starting lineups announced, and traditionally you're supposed to go out again as the head coach and shake hands at center court before the game starts. She did not do that for Gino. And then after beating UConn, Gino made it a point to get in her face and start this entire fight with Staley, saying she's disrespectful and this, that, and the other thing, all because she didn't come to center court and shake his hand. Personally, a lot of salt in the air there, Gino. And I was singing your praises last week, and we'll continue to do so. Again, you've been to 30 Final Fours in your career. So we were talking about some of the greatest basketball coaches of all time. But let's be honest here, dude. Is it really that big of a deal she didn't come and shake your hand a second time before the game started? Really? Well, to make a point, Dawn went up to the UCLA head coach close, not only shook her hand, but gave her a big old hug. And, like, they had a conversation for a while. She went out of her way to once again shake the hand of every assistant coach all the way down. And then even addressed the crowd as she waved and looked like the president and just, was, egging this on, saying, hey, let's go. She lost the game. Unfortunate. We'll get to Dawn in a second when it comes to that. But once again, did not go to the center court, but neither did Close to get the, pregame handshake. Gino, after the game in the Final Four, came out and said that he's never seen this, that this is unprecedented in the game of basketball, in the game of college basketball. Again, a lot of salt in the air from Mr. Auriemma. But I just hate that is, and I echo what Dawn had to say. I hate that is the storyline that everyone's talking about when it comes to this game, rather than the fact that UCLA just won their first ever NCAA championship on the women's side. I mean, and I think their first, I had it written down here somewhere. Yeah, their first championship since 1978 when they were part of the AIAW. Anybody know what that stands for?
Negative.
And did I look it up? Negative, Ghost Rider. But again, point being, we should be talking about the UCLA Bruins right now and their incredible championship win. But instead, most of the talking heads you're going to be hearing today are going to be talking about Dawn Staley and the fact that for some reason she didn't shake Gino's hand center court in the Final Four, which caused a huge kerfuffle because it's UConn, and we're all talking about that. I just it baffles me. It really does, because I'm on Dawn's side. I really don't see this as a big deal, Gino. I really don't. It's just a handshake. I'd be more concerned about what she said post game after the finals game, which was she's just happy to see quality people win a championship. Clearly taking a shot at a certain coach.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when it comes to Dawn, I love Dawn Staley as a coach. She's a 3-time champion as a coach, especially has had an undefeated team with the South Carolina Gamecocks. But now she is responsible for 2 of the largest losses in D1 women's sports history. This year against UCLA, where they lost by 28.
Spanked.
And then last year, when they lost to UConn by 23. That's number 3 and number 4 on the list. Now, I'm not saying that this hurts her legacy as a whole. I think she's still going to go down as a Hall of Famer. But it's kind of like the LeBron effect. When you have such greatness, but then such incredible feats of bad, Brett Favre can also go in this conversation. Lots of touchdowns, but a ton of interceptions. Does it water it down for you, my friend?
Oh, yeah.
Like, do you think Dawn, I mean, again, we're just talking about Gino and how incredible his legacy is and his entire just time with UConn as a whole. But is that going to hurt Dawn Staley's legacy just if she doesn't? I'm sorry, let me restructure this. If she does not win a championship again here in the next 2 or 3 years with South Carolina, will this damage her legacy to the point where it's unrepairable?
I mean, unrepairable, probably. I mean, she had a great career. She was a great coach, but you're always going to remember all the losses and the big losses. I would still think she's going to be, a Hall of Famer. She's still one of the best, but you're going to remember, just like we remember a lot of teams that get blown out in championships.
Right. And that's what I'm worried about, is just the idea that this isn't going to be repairable. Because again, 3-time champion for sure. And she's gotten there plenty of times, but every time she gets there and doesn't win, it's a massive blowout loss. And you can argue that there are differences on the teams that she has coached in those years. One year she had Asia Wilson, which, I mean, if you follow women's basketball, Asia Wilson's probably the best women's basketball player since Lisa Leslie. So is it easy for her to really recreate that success when she doesn't have an Asia Wilson on the team? No. But Dawn Staley is still known for creating incredible basketball players, incredible basketball teams. I just hate seeing her get destroyed by some of these teams. And you could argue, looking at UCLA, Corey Close and this incredible team that UCLA had created this year came in absolutely electric and wanting this more than any team I think wanted a national championship in their lives because they want to be that team for UCLA. They want to step up and really mimic what Wooden did for the men's team when he won 10 titles for the men's team and they haven't won one. And Coach Close was an assistant when Wooden was there. So yeah, she wants to, do good by Coach Wooden. She wants to do good by this program. So did they come in motivated? 110%. So maybe Staley just ran into two back-to-back teams that were looking and were just overly motivated because UConn last year, kind of the same thing. They hadn't won in a while and they wanted to win for Gino. They also wanted to win for Paige and all the other girls because they didn't get a chance to. So I get it. But losing by 28 this year, 23 last year, I mean, we do it to LeBron all the time. We're going to nitpick the hell out of this, especially as sports talking heads. And nobody's saying that Dawn isn't a good coach. She's a fantastic coach, and she's going to figure out a way to make this work and get back to that championship game as she did and win her third championship probably in 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, however long it takes her to do that. I just worry that this is going to harm her legacy as a whole, especially if she goes next year, Sparky, and gets blown out for a third year in a row. Oy, that's going to be really, really hard to dig yourself out of. Let's take a break real quick. We'll get into some of the other stuff on the other side. Masters week is this week as well. So at some point, I'll break down the field and the major talking points since this is the first Masters since 1994, where you will not see either Tiger Woods or Phil Mickelson on that roster. That's going to be interesting to see because this means one of the younger names or really just one of the stars of today could finally step up and be the talking point of the Masters rather than everybody just focusing on Tiger and Phil. This is the early bird special. We'll talk about that and much more right after this break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. So, did you watch the Inside Out NHL game yesterday, Sparky?
I did not.
These Disney-fied sports games are so. I don't want to say weird because weird's not the right word. But when I'm watching it, it's like, dude, it doesn't look right. I'm
I like
sorry.
the football ones,
The football ones aren't terrible anymore, but
but
the
I can't
first
watch it
year,
the whole game.
no,
I'm
absolutely
just
not. I
like,
have to
catch
switch
it
it.
out for a minute and
Yeah.
okay, that's cool. I'm gonna take that back.
I tried a couple years ago to sit down and watch the Falcons and Jaguars game that was Toy Story, if
Yeah,
I'm not
I
mistaken,
remember that.
that year. And I just halfway through, I was like, why am I watching it this way? Why am I watching it?
I watched it for like a drive or two, and I was like, I
Well,
can't do it the whole game.
if you're a hockey fan, you got to check out the Inside Out NHL game yesterday between the Rangers and the Capitals, where the Rangers won 8-1. Again, I guess this is just these new sports organizations. I'm sorry, the new way that sports organizations are trying to reach kids and try to pull them in that way because they believe that just because they watched a Disney-fied version of a football game or a hockey game, these kids are going to want to play that game. I don't think that's how it works, but
You're gonna watch in 10 years. What brought you into hockey? Oh, it was that
exactly.
Inside Out game I watched.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking in my head. It's like, I need to see statistics. I need to see how many kids have joined sports since watching these things because I don't know if it's hitting like they think it is. But again, it's just a different way to watch the game, I guess, and a different way to get kids to play the game
Who
or
was
trying
it?
to. Rangers and Capitals. So it was a solid game, I guess. But again, 8-1 was your final. A lot of scoring from the Rangers. Didn't get to watch a whole ton of it. I kind of steered away, much like I do with the football games. I'm like, not really my thing right now. Really don't want to watch Joy try to pull off a hat trick or something. I really can't do that.
I did see the Islanders fire their coach.
Did they really?
Yeah,
Again,
with 4 games left in the season, and I was like, really, you're gonna fire your Hall of Fame coach, not even let him finish out the year?
from what I understand, I can't remember his name right now, but there is a coach that's in play that they really, really want. Because I also heard that the Golden Knights might be making a move that way as well, but I'm not 100% sure. So don't follow me or kill me if I'm wrong. But the other story, we need to shift over to the world of basketball or back to the world of basketball. We mentioned it at the beginning of the show, but Luka Doncic is seeking treatment out in Europe as he and Reeves are targeting playoff returns for the Lakers. Hopefully this works out. He had a grade 2 left hamstring strain, and they desperately need both of these men on the court to make a deep run. I'm going to bring this up when it comes or when we talk with our guy Snacks, my friend, but I'll float it at you first. The Lakers' chances can fluctuate depending on where they land in the rankings for the West. Right now, they're in third, but they could drop anywhere as low as sixth. And with so many teams in the running that are all incredible at home, the Thunder's 33-6 at home this year. Spurs are 29-7. The Nuggets are 25-13. Rockets are 28-10. Do the Lakers need home court advantage to actually make this work? I say yes, at least as much as you possibly can. You're not going to be able to take over the number 2 seed or the number 1 seed away from the Thunder or the Spurs, especially with the way they're playing and you're without your star player. But do you think the Lakers need home court advantage, at least a 3 or a 4 seed to make a run?
I don't think I don't think it's in the cards. I personally don't think.
You don't think it matters if they
I
get
don't
home
think it
court at all?
matters either way. I mean, obviously they're going to need
Fair enough.
their stars. They're going to need Luka. They're going to need Reeves. But I mean, we've talked about it since the season started. I just don't think they add up in the West.
Mm.
I mean, it's if anybody could do it, surprise me, it would be the Lakers. But I just don't see it.
LeBron would have to reach a whole different level of his game again in order for them to make a deep run, in my opinion.
And
but
he was
agree.
just starting to get comfortable, like not being the guy.
Yeah. And the other thing that I'm going to bring up with Snacks as well is the story that we didn't get to last week, which was LeBron's comments on the golf course, him highlighting how old he feels. And how much he really does not care for the fans in Memphis, apparently. Says the Memphis Grizzlies should just up and move to Nashville and get it over with.
Said he would have pulled a Eli.
Yep. I love LeBron, but he's really giving people more ammo.
Yep.
He really is. Like, at this point, he just does not care and is giving everybody as much ammunition as they want. Don't know if that's the smart move for the King, but at this point, it's his life. His career is already done. And I'm pretty sure from what he was commenting on the golf course with those guys, does not sound like he's going to be a part of the league very much longer. He highlighted how he's played Spark, a 38% of the league's total players, like from its history. He's played 38% of them. And which is a wild statistic when you really sit there and think about it. And I don't know exactly how valid it is, to be fair. I'm just quoting
who's doing the math on that one.
Right. It's probably true, though, if you really think about it.
I mean, he's been around forever.
And the league really has not had that many players, if you really want to break it down, compared to like football or, baseball or anything like that. So realistically, he's probably right. He's probably played about 33%, if not a little bit higher than that, of the league's players as a whole. But the way he's talking about it, I'd say LeBron has maybe a year. Maybe. If he doesn't just up and say, you know what? I don't need a retirement tour.
See, that's what I thought. I think we've talked about this back and forth for years. I still think he probably comes back for retirement just in LeBron fashion, because he'll sell a lot of merch. He can do the whole John Cena or this is the last time I'll be here type thing. But is it going to be good for him and good for whatever team if it is the Lakers?
See, if he does come back, I don't know if it's for the Lakers.
See, I think if he's going to do it, he should do it in Cleveland.
I've said the same thing for years. But again, really just depends where he wants to end his career, because he may feel like the chapter in Cleveland's already done, that he doesn't need to go back and finish it off.
Go to New York?
Maybe. Well, no, not even that. Maybe he wants to stay in LA and win it there because the one championship he's won for the Lakers already has an asterisk next to it. It was the bubble. Nobody's going to give him credit for it just solely because it's LeBron. Anybody else would have won that championship. Everybody would be saying, oh, it's a legitimate championship. It was actually harder to get. Look what they had to go through. But because it was the Lakers, LeBron, and Anthony Davis, everybody had to put an asterisk next to it and say, no, half a season, that doesn't count as a real championship. Come on. So maybe LeBron is sitting there thinking, I'd rather win one in LA just to shut up naysayers. And they can't sit there and say, I didn't win 3 championships with 3 separate teams, and then I can hang it up and just go and do whatever the hell I want to.
Good luck with that.
I know. I agree. But at the same time, the way the Lakers are set up right now and are continuing to build, it's really not out of the realm of possibility they make a step forward and somehow win a 7-game series against the Thunder or a Spurs team. The likelihood of it, I agree with you, very minuscule. Especially with Victor Wembanyama playing the way he's playing. SGA and this Thunder team are at the top of their game and continue to play championship basketball, in my opinion.
You think the Lakers will actually, with the new ownership and management, you think they'd want that? You think they'd want him for another year? Because
I don't know what the relationship is like.
It seems like they're built for, like, let's get out of this LeBron thing so we can build the rest of the team.
Right. And I think you're right, because that's my thing. I don't know exactly what the relationship is like between LeBron and the new ownership group. I know if we're talking about the Buss family, absolutely that would be in the cards. But at the same time, I mean, if he's willing to take a team-friendly deal, which I know everybody is sitting there saying there's no way that happens, and you're probably right. Honestly, you're probably right. But crazier things have happened in the world of sports. And if LeBron legitimately wants to win a championship with the Lakers, that's the only route you can go to make that happen. But you could say the same thing about Cleveland. Because let's say he does want to go back to Cleveland and be that 5th man in their 5 rotation. Either Cleveland's going to have to ship out pieces like Jared Allen and all these other guys to make it happen, or he's going to have to take a team-friendly deal and just say, I'm coming back to play in Cleveland just solely because this is home and I want to do my retirement tour here. Which one seems more likely? Him taking a team-friendly deal to stay in LA?
No. I could see him ending it in Cleveland, even if he doesn't play a whole season, or even if it's just a one-day contract and he doesn't. I
That would
still
be
think LeBron would be.
well, that's the other thing I'm thinking too. Imagine he does come back to Cleveland, and I'm all for the idea of it. But what if he only plays like 40 games, 45 games? What's the point of a retirement tour if you're not going to come back and play every game you possibly can in every city?
And just piss off more people that bought tickets to see you.
Yeah, exactly. Fans of yours that live in different cities that maybe play you 2 times a year, they now have to guess which one you're going to play at. Like, it would really just squander everything about a retirement tour, in my opinion. But maybe you're right. Maybe he comes back to Cleveland. I just the idea of it, it just seems to me that he would stay in LA because it's the easier
It's
option. His
Hollywood.
son's there. He makes more money there. And again, when you talk about the sports part of it, everybody already puts an asterisk next to your one championship with the Lakers. So why wouldn't you want to win a second one just to shut everybody up
And you
before you
know
walk
everybody
away?
will be having their hands out trying to get LeBron on their shows, their
Exactly.
movies, their stand-up, their shows, their
He would be
everything.
on every
Yeah.
piece of media
Saturday Night
possible.
Live, they'd be on everything.
And NBA or the NBA as an organization, as a league, Adam Silver and all those guys that run it are all going to push that so hard because if you want viewership numbers, this is the way to get it. You celebrate your goat, well, not your goat, but your great one for the last season of his career and have him pass that torch off to somebody else who deserves it and can carry the weight. Victor Wembanyama, more than likely. Even though for some reason America can't get behind a European basketball player as the face of the NBA. I've never understood this. Never got it. It should have been Giannis years ago. It really should have been. We all love this guy. How do we like? What is America's problem with Giannis Antetokounmpo being the face of the league? I really don't get it. But it is what it is. At this point, it's whatever LeBron wants to do. I agree with you though. The Lakers' chances in a playoff run is in general are dwindling. It's already going to be hard enough getting past the Spurs or the Thunder. But I don't know, dude. He could stay in LA if the Lakers wanted to make that happen. Because you're right. Maybe the ownership group is more just saying, yeah, get him out of
Yeah,
here.
get him out of here. We got a team to build.
Exactly. So let's take a break. We'll get to some other stuff on the other side. I'll break down some of these Masters storylines for you if you are a golf fan. And we'll get into some wrestling talk as well. This is the Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk. Welcome back. Early bird special right here on KGEO Sports Talk, 101.1 FM, 12:30 a.m. Also streaming video live every single morning, 7 to 9 if you'd like to check it out that way. On YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook Live. Just look for the Early Bird Special. You'll see our little logo there. All of our past episodes are on YouTube, and I believe on Facebook as well. I believe they stay up on the page. So if you could feel free to go back and watch any old episode or old interview if you so choose. I also throw a couple of the better interviews up there that we've had, just if you want to check those out rather than having to search through all of our videos. It makes it a little bit easier for you guys who are trying to catch up. But it is Masters Week. I know. Sparky always goes to sleep every time I talk golf. But look, man, it's going to be an interesting Masters this year. No Phil.
Is it, though?
No Tiger. Who's going to be the talking point? Who's going to be the guy to step up? Who's going to be the guy to be the story this year? That's what's going to be the major thing for me. Is it going to be Rory? He just pulled it off. Finally, last year, 2025, our guy Bolt Brady came on this show and predicted it, that he was going to be able to turn it around. And he so did in days 3 and 4 of the tournament. Won the whole dang shebang. He wins it 2 years in a row. His name becomes synonymous with the Masters. And we are talking about Rory McIlroy, the golden boy of the PGA once again. Or number one player in the world, Scottie Scheffler, just had another baby. I believe he's days old right now. They just showed up in Augusta, and he is looking for not one, not two, but his third Masters championship in a 5-year span. I believe 2022 and 24, he won a gold jacket. Could 2026 be the same after, again, the birth of his just recent child? Or does Justin Rose, the 3-time runner-up, finally pull it off as well? Having to lose in a playoff, and not just 2015 and 2017 to Sergio Garcia, but last year to Rory McIlroy as well. Can Justin finally pull it off? It's going to be fun. I think this is going to be a very interesting Masters, especially if you're not a golf fan. There's going to be a lot of talking points. Amazon is now in on the coverage, so you're going to get 2 extra hours of Amazon-style coverage on the Masters on days 1 and 2 of the tournament on the 9th and 10th of this month. I think this is going to be really fun. Betting odds right now have Scottie Scheffler as the leader at plus 500. Bryson DeChambeau, the live golf golden boy at this point until he makes the transition back to the PGA inevitably. He's at plus 1,000. Jon Rahm, the 2023 champion, at plus 1,000. Rory McIlroy, last year's champion, at plus 1,200. And Ludwig Oberg. Ludwig Oberg will be at plus 16 as well. So if you're a betting man, those will be your betting lines. I do have some interesting rules and traditions, though, that only take place at the Masters that I wanted to bounce off you, Sparky, just to see, since you were not a golf fan. But this would be things that maybe you do not know and some other people who don't follow golf. At the Masters, there's what's called the no tech rule. This means no phones, cameras, or tech during the tournament at all by anybody on the grounds. Even if you're a spectator, you cannot walk in with your cell phone. That's pretty old school.
Shouldn't it be already like that?
I mean, if for golf especially, yes, because, last thing you want is somebody taking a call when someone's taking a backswing. Terminology is different if you're watching the coverage. Specific terms are required.
See that phone ringing. Hey, can you talk? No, I'm just at the Masters. Don't worry.
I'm watching Tiger. What's wrong with you?
Go ahead. It's just golf. Don't worry about it.
Specific terms and requirements for commentators specifically. They have to use these terms mandated by the Masters. Fans are known as patrons. It is not fans. You cannot call it the rough. It is known as the second cut. And also the front and back 9 are the first and second 9s.
You better get that right.
Back 9. Yeah, you have to. No, commentators get penalized and fined if you get that wrong, apparently.
Take your phone away from you.
The cool thing about it, though, in my opinion, is the concessions. The concessions prices have never changed. So much so, guess how much a pimento cheese sandwich is at the Masters, Sparky?
What?
A pimento cheese, yes.
$5.
$1.50.
All right. It's like a hot dog and a drink at Costco.
Exactly.
I like it.
I'm saying, dude. And they said they will never change. They make so much money on the
Costco
concessions, dude.
Too.
They will never change.
That's how it should be.
Honestly, I said the same thing, but that's some different, unique rules and traditions. If you are not a golf fan, you'll be checking out the Masters this week, starting on Thursday. If you're wondering, why don't they call them fans, or why can't they call it the back 9 like we always do? It's because the Masters is weird. It's an old traditional thing, and it's still just odd to me that they have these weird traditions, but they do, and that's kind of the lifestyle. If you're a golf fan, you just got to live with it. Let's shift over to wrestling.
I got two stories before we get into that, because
Okay,
one, the NFL came out and said there will be no NFL discipline against Rashee Rice. All the charges have been dropped. They said they do not have enough evidence to find a violation of personal conduct. So Rashee Rice is getting away with yet another one. And the other one is a painter is suing Mr. Bill Belichick for $300,000.
Oh, wow.
After allegedly slipping and suffering a serious ankle injury while working at the cheater's house. And the lawsuit claims unsafe conditions, so he's going after Belichick for $300,000.
Yeah, I would work for Bill Belichick even on a contractual obligation, because can you imagine that, man, when you want to take a day, no days off, get to work? Yeah, no, that's how this is how we did it out in Foxborough every summer, every winter, out in the middle of the cold.
You're late.
You're late. What are you doing here? Let's go.
What do you mean? I'm on time.
Nope. If you're not 20 minutes early, you're late. I'm not paying you for the day. Like, I would not work for this man at all, period, in a contractual
or
obligation.
His girlfriend.
Hell nah.
But yes, back to wrestling. SmackDown was insane.
It was a lot of fun. I'm happy that we figured out who was on the other side of the phone. But once again, at least he's showing up in dark matches, I guess, Sparky. They're putting Royce Keys in dark matches. So maybe this is at least a sign that we'll see him on television at some point after WrestleMania. But
I just thought it was kind of
Pat McAfee being the one on the phone makes sense, because I'm an avid Pat McAfee show watcher. So I knew that Randy was on the show not too long ago. But I'm not gonna lie. At first, it was a letdown. It really was. At first, it was a massive letdown, and this is another letdown in the string of letdowns that the WWE has given us. But I have to say, it at first is usually a letdown, and then it grows into something better. I think that's what we're getting here again, much like the Danhausen situation, where everybody was like, "What the hell was that?" McAfee coming back and being a heel for the first time in his WWE career. That's going to be interesting to see. How much he's going to be a part of this story in general is going to be interesting to see. Is he coming back in a commentary role, or is he going to be a manager?
If he comes back as a commentator, that would be dope.
I
because that's how we used to have commentators.
But see, if he comes back as a commentator, he has to be a heel.
Yeah.
Which means we're going to get more commentary like a JBL rather than the fun-loving Pat McAfee
like
that
Jerry
we're all
used to be.
Exactly. So I'm not sure exactly what this means for the storyline in general. We'll find out as we are a week away from WrestleMania now. It's not this weekend, it's next weekend, if I'm not mistaken. It was an interesting change up, but
I did see a podcast with Road Dogg and Billy Gunn, where Billy Gunn threw out, he is under the impression that Triple H is being let go after WrestleMania. So now that story is steaming up, and Road Dogg said, dude, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. I don't think it happens, but I mean, there's a lot of mixed up things going on in that whole Pat McAfee thing. I think it was just weak, man. I just didn't like it.
The rumor of Triple H being fired is just ridiculous to me. I feel like they would terminate the relationship between ESPN and WWE before that ever happened. I really do. I think that if it was based around them failing on ESPN and not working out, they would just terminate that relationship and go back to being its own streaming platform, or just repair up with Peacock or Netflix.
And people are running with that Vince story, man.
I'm really seeing
pictures of Vince with Stephanie and Orton and McAfee walking in like they were running the WWE. I don't think they're in a position to bring back Vince.
No.
And I think it would exactly.
There's no way. But maybe like KG was bringing up last week, in a story capacity, as an employee, somebody that you can, keep in a specific box. Maybe you flirt with the idea, especially the idea that we were talking about last week of Survivor Series, winner takes sole control of the company. I've posted that on TikTok and had a lot of non-wrestling fans say I would go back to watching wrestling if that was a storyline. And I think the WWE knows that. They see the gold that is underneath them hills, and they're going to get digging. So maybe it's a possibility. I mean, if Tommy Dreamer and Busted Open are talking about it, it is more of a reality than I think most people realize. We may be seeing Vince McMahon back on WWE programming, which is
be insane.
Wild to say out loud. Let's take a break. We got our guys from Major Laugh Mondays coming in right after this. Then we're going to talk national championship and NBA with our guy Snacks before we get out of here for the day. This is the Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. Welcome back. Early bird special right here on KGEO Sports Talk, 101.1 FM, 1230 AM. It's time to talk Made You Laugh Mondays with our friends over there at Firehouse.
Morning.
Trevor.
Hey, how you guys doing this morning?
Good morning, my friend. You're not in Michigan State garb. It's National Championship Monday.
Yeah, because my team isn't in it, and I'm
Yeah, but this could be the first Big Ten champion since your team won.
I
Although
mean,
it is your Michigan. Well, you're in Michigan
this isn't.
colors.
Yeah, this isn't maize. It was laundry day for me. I did this by accident. I was like, oh no, I'm wearing Michigan colors. It's burning my skin right now,
Michigan.
guys.
Go Michigan.
I'm kidding. They have a great team. Go blue. Oh, okay. I'm back.
You didn't have to go that far. My God.
Oh
my
God,
friend.
I think I swallowed it. It's fine. It's fine.
Ew. Introduce your friend.
Guys, I brought with me a comic that I've been working with for a while, a guy I love, and the captain of the Bakersfield roast battle scene. It's Anthony Rivers.
Hey guys.
Naturally, sir. Good to meet you. Nice to meet you. Thank you for your time. We appreciate it. How are you, the captain of the roast battles here?
Oh, I'm the captain of the roast battles in the way of Geno Smith is the captain of the Raiders. I suck, but I'm in charge. All right? I'm not gonna flip off the fans. I love the fans. I know how to respect them, but no, I just started off doing the roast battles in Bakersfield. So
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it, man.
Huh?
I'm pumped about this battle coming up. We had Anthony on last week. He is already throwing out blows, so he's ready to roll.
Yeah, a lot of the comics that you've heard on this show are going to be on there.
Mhm.
I will be facing off against Andrew Idell. Anthony Howdigi is going to be facing off against was that Eric Lopez?
yes.
And then just added Bob Ortiz is going to be facing off against Alex Bravo. So
Ooh, that'll be fun.
yeah, that's going to be a very fun one. So
And actually, Andrew was in here, Thursday, and took his shots at you as well. Already gave us a taste on what's going to happen there.
Yeah.
And actually, how all of this came to be, I didn't realize this started because the two of you were roasting each other outside of the well one night.
Literally just a group of comics were just throwing verbal jabs at each other, and people were just like kind of surprised that nice guys Andrew Idell and Trevor Chavez were like throwing actual shots at each other.
Well, Andrew Idell, he's a very white guy, but he's like, I'm more Mexican than Trevor, and Trevor's like, I'm more white than you. So it just got real heated in front of the comedy club.
That's where it all started. That with that basic premise, and then a few other comics started roasting each other, and I just saw Anthony in the back going like, all right, let's work on this card right here.
I'm such a nerd, not a nerd, but like out of date person. I had a big old notepad, like I'm gonna write these down. So I look so dumb.
Man, pen to paper works.
Oh,
I still do that too.
And it was the ones that like flip vertically. That was the key. Oh no, I'm not talking
my notes.
I'm not talking legal pad. I'm talking the spiral notepad.
Oh, we're talking with the okay.
Yeah,
you're looking
exactly.
like Steve from Blue's Clues.
Exactly, dead on.
It would be worse if I did have crayon. I'd say like, this is good battle,
but also not off brand.
Lord. And obviously, this is what day? This is coming up, right?
This is Sunday. April 12th at 6 p.m.
Oh, this Sunday.
This Sunday.
Yeah, so I'm excited. Everybody's all riled up. Like you kind of see, like, I like competition. I'm besides football, I'm really, really into MMA, and I wrestled in high school. I performed in backyard fights. My buddy, he's a paramedic. He's gonna be doing a Battle of the Badgers. So I put myself around combat sports, and I really like when it comes to see the energy of all the comedians from like goofing around, talking trash to, oh, I'm taking this serious. I'm gonna dial in. And just see everybody gets like, because Andrew Idell and Trevor Chavez kind of have some animosity. I don't know where this came from. It just came out of nowhere, and it's just fun to see this. Everybody's getting riled up.
Absolutely.
Honestly, the animosity is just it seems like our battle specifically has split the scene in half. Like half of the scene is like, Trevor, you're gonna murder Idell. Or
I don't believe that part.
Look the other guy dead in their eyes and be like, well, I've seen people look Andrew Idell dead in their eyes and be like, Trevor's gonna murder you on Sunday. I'm like bro, calm down.
I think two things can be true. They probably tell both of you.
No. Well,
but they want to hype the two of you.
But then I was going to say completely different people. I have telling me like, oh, you're going to kill Andrew, but we're just like, no, dude, it's going to be a great match.
And again, really this is all going to be in good fun.
Oh, of course.
And hopefully you guys can hug it out afterwards and not try to,
Well, we're sponsored by Prize Picks, so we have a betting line now.
Nice. I was just going to ask that. What's the bets on? And who? I mean, is there a prize for a winner or
no? Right
just
now,
respect? Be like, hey,
just bragging rights for a while,
there
but I
you
think
go.
eventually we'll do a tournament style. And plus, right now, I really haven't told a lot of guys, but some of them know that the best roasters out of Bakersfield will be on the tournament for LA, which is the roast battle league out there in the Comedy Store.
Nice.
So with that, there's opportunity that comes with it. Some guys get to perform in Texas. Some guys get it's a international thing. They have like roast battle league in Tokyo, roast battle league in Europe. So stuff like that.
Okay.
It gives you guys more options.
Yeah. Then don't get it twisted. Some of us comics are competitive, and we do keep track of our records.
Oh, 100%. I mean, it's going to be a really fun show if you're just a fan of this, but I would assume you guys are going to hold this over each other no matter who wins.
Oh, 100%. I know exactly the one comic in the scene who's beat me, and I know the best jokes that he's thrown against me, and I tell them to this day.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. So you are also a comedian, though, I would believe, right?
Yeah.
So is your comedy more roast comedy, or what would you say your?
No, my comedy is very dumb. It's
really
not roast jokes, but there'll be times I'll promote my roast show by making the roast jokes that people made of me before. And that's about it. But no, I'm not a roast comic. I just thought that I saw it being roast battles happening in LA, and I was interested by it. And we don't have those in Bakersfield. So I thought to myself, like, let me bring it over here, because every other comic I know is throwing a showcase. Everybody's throwing a showcase. Why not just do a regular do a roast battle and see how that goes? And it's something that's very unique and doesn't happen all the time in Bakersfield.
Absolutely. What got you started into comedy?
Just being alone, and just realize like I don't have a lot of friends. And then one day I saw there's an open mic comedy. I've been wanting to do comedy, and that's where I met Daniel Betts, and that was like 7 years ago. And then I realized like I'm funny enough to continue, because there's times where people are not funny and they continue. I was like, man, you gotta really look at yourself in the mirror and be like, am I good enough to be on stage? And I feel like I am. So I just got to keep working at it. And now having the roast battles, it helps me have some type of leverage to my name.
7 years in the game, you said?
Yeah.
Born and raised here, or
yeah.
What high school did you go to?
BHS.
Oh, okay. So born blue, then I get it.
Yeah.
I understand. So what inspired you, or what comic was the one that really made you want to get on stage?
Oh man, this is such a cheap thing. It's just Dave Chappelle.
The Chappelle Show.
Yeah, just that. I think growing up, I watched comedy, and I just really like. I can't even pronounce any of these comics' names, because they're just old comics that used to have like Comedy Central, like 30-minute specials, and they're no longer around. Like they faded off or they fell off. But a lot of comics off of just watching Comedy Central 30-minute specials. That's what kind of got me into it. It's like, man, this is funny. Just sitting in the car, my family would listen to Comedy 800.
See, I was wondering what that station was the other day, because somebody had showed that to me when I was working at my old job.
What, Comedy 800?
Comedy 800. And I'd never heard it before, and I could not find it afterwards. But I'm glad you had brought that up, because is that still a thing?
No, I think it's a sports channel.
Yeah, it's now. Fox Sports now.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's what. Well, I actually started over there at 800, and that's what, when we switched from sports, it went to comedy.
Really?
For a little, it was a short period of time, but then they moved back to Fox Sports.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
It felt like it was years of them doing comedy.
It was a lot of replays and
fat.
I mean, we would run 12 hours and then double it up for the rest of the day. So there wasn't a lot of live content, and it was before I met Dan Betts and Trevor and everybody, because that would have been a cool, put a local spin with all these local comics that we have here. So we brought him over here instead. So there you go.
It is what it is.
And Trevor, you are one of the busiest comedians.
Yeah, it became that over the past like month. Comedy, for those of you who don't know, comedy kind of goes in waves when you're a comic, and you go through busy periods and light periods, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, beginning of April, just hit me busy. I had a John Hacker week this last week.
I was really happy, because we had 3 or 4 comics on last week, and your name got brought up every time. I was like, all right.
Was it
awesome
good comments?
Yeah, some of them. I mean, besides the Dell one, but
Dell had a couple. You'd have to go back and look at that episode. I can't say it on here.
Okay,
he was taking shots at you, but he. I mean, everybody seems to. I mean, which one was it? The Saturday night show.
Yeah, Laugh and Leave.
Laugh and Leave.
How did that one go? I'm pretty pumped about this one.
That one went well. That is a really good, fun crowd that Ken is developing over there. It's a good little room. I really had a good time performing there, and found out that I'm still funny when I'm hungover. That was a fun treat.
Well, I talked to him. He's actually going to come on, and he brought in a good idea that he's going to have a 5-minute set right here on the show. So I was like, all right, it's gonna be early in the morning.
Yeah,
We'll see.
that'll be. I mean, I know I couldn't do a 5-minute set that early in the morning. Some of my material is filthy, so.
I'm also curious to see how this is going to work because it's really going to be a 5-minute set for just me and you because it's not like anybody's going to be able to do a laugh track here.
Really, it's just, hey, what is it like when you're hanging out with the comedians 5 minutes after the well, or for 5 minutes after the well, or after Laugh and Leave, and because that's what. Oh, it's just 4 of us and we're trying to crack each other up. All right, cool, let's go.
I got that a lot from comedians because when we told them, oh, we're gonna do 5-minute sets, they're like, oh, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I told them, okay, be here at 7:30 in the morning. It's like, never mind. That's not gonna work for us.
Not at all. But I mean, hey, it works for some people. It doesn't work for others. It is what it is. But Major Laugh Mondays should work for everybody. You guys are live at the Firehouse, right?
Firehouse Rosedale Station every Monday, or this Monday, like every Monday. We start setting up at 6:00. So if you want to hang out and watch us, goof around with each other, but signups are at 6:30. Show starts at 7.
See, I've been told by multiple people just not to mess with you, period. Like we brought up how you said not to mess with you when you're doing your playlist, and people have said, no, just don't talk to him at all because he just gets angry.
It's more of like I don't know, it's like a color thing with him. Don't touch it. Like, don't move around. And it's just like, come on, dude. Like I known you for 6 years. Relax. Like, but he's like, no, because I asked for a specific song. He's like, only did it today. We only listen to women that rap. And I was like, all right, well, I wanted to.
You don't even take requests.
Okay.
From the comedians,
Let me set this one to straight. I do that sometimes because occasionally I like to do a theme for my walk-up music. And what was it? I think last week or a couple weeks ago, I decided only lady singers. So if you want to walk up music, it'd be female vocalist.
The one day I wanted Justin Timberlake, it was no, because he got arrested that week, or that DUI situation.
Oh,
and I was like, this is funny. And it's like, nope, only women rappers and women singers.
Hey,
that's not a good DJ, Trevor. That's not a good DJ.
Oh man,
take requests.
We are the drunk girls. Like, hey, can we request it? And before the mic starts.
Actually, now I'm going to go defend myself and say I'm a great DJ because that's.
I was about to say every DJ friend of mine right now. I said, "What the hell are you talking about? We don't take requests no more."
Exactly what we do, dude. We say okay, maybe, or you know what? I should do the real DJ thing, and I should say I'll try and sneak it in.
Yeah,
exactly. That's what I was just going to say. My buddy Rec, he'll say the same thing. Oh yeah, it's coming up.
Yeah, I'll try it.
Go buy a drink.
Okay, that's. I need to learn how to feign caring about people more. Okay, that's what I need to do.
Exactly. It's got to be just compliment sandwich this thing. You said you're a Raider fan though, yeah?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this whole Max Crosby situation? Are you happy to have him back?
Of course, yeah. No, when he left, everybody was like, "Oh man, that sucks he left." But I just wanted him to be happy. I want him to be happy. Him being with the Raiders, just like,
see, that's a true fan. I've seen fans that said, get him out of here, like protect, like, nobody's bigger than the Shield. And I've seen fans that cried when he left. So, I mean, I know it's a two-sided coin here, but I prefer fans like this who are just like, I just want the guy to be happy.
Because it's especially this last season, because there's every season I've always had hope. Always had hope. This season I have hope.
That's the Raider way.
This was the first season I felt zero hope because it was like, first of all, we're gonna have to get rid of the quarterback. And that's like 3-4 games. All right, we switch him out for a backup. That usually happens. But for the fact they continue to have him over and over, I'm like, what is this? Like, there is no hope. And even Antonio Pierce, like even when he got the second season, because when he started off halfway of that season where he was at 8-8, he had a better record than the season after. He was doing terrible, but I still had hope. This season was zero. Like
the Pete Carroll era just didn't do it for you.
Why are we just collecting old people, man? What are we doing?
I can honestly say I think Gino was the best quarterback in that room, though, is the problem. I don't think there was.
You know what? I love O'Connell, man. I love O'Connell.
Really?
Dude, he's the one that gives me hope. Even though he sucks, he gives me hope every time.
It's the Tommy DeVito effect, dude. I'm telling you.
What's the Tommy DeVito?
Look, man, the Giants backup quarterback, we were just talking about him the other day. Well, now he's with the Patriots, if I'm not mistaken. But when this kid came in for the Giants, everybody just immediately turned it around thinking the Giants are here. The Giants are back, man. Like the kid from New York is going to take him there. And it's like, no, it's just he's a really good backup. Like he's good for you now. Now you get Fernando, though, and Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, well, nothing's official. We'll see how it gets there because it's, some slide deals can happen because I don't know what happened since they gave back, what'd you call it?
The draft picks.
Yeah, do they give the draft pick back?
Yes.
I don't so
Yeah,
stuff
no,
like that. Nothing's set in stone because some stuff can happen. And even though if he comes over to the Raiders, what happened? It was with Drew Brees and Eli Manning where they wanted to switch or something like stuff can still happen. Nothing's set in stone. So
Fernando came out over the weekend and said he already has the playbook.
Does he really?
That he's already working on the playbook, that he was able to meet with the team because every player gets the handful of meets.
Or
That's what I thought. I was like, that was the first time I've ever seen that before.
What's that one coach that he was there with the tuck rule? I forgot. They brought him back. What's that coach?
We talking for the Raiders? Or
Raiders.
Raiders coach during the tuck rule was
it Gruden?
Yeah, Josh Gruden. You remember a couple of years ago when he called like some dudes like, man, that guy with his rubber lips talking about a black dude. I'm like, yo, that is like the most. But he wasn't talking about him being like a racial slur. It was him like the guy. He's like, I have the playbook already. He's like, why are you talking?
Yeah, why are you even talking, fool? You're trying to get us in trouble.
And that's my thought. Is like, wait, I get it. You have the first overall pick, so you obviously get to pick whoever the hell you want. But is that not tampering? Just handing
the NFL
already?
wants to stretch it out and make it as dramatic as they can,
right?
Because
that's
have
viewership. To wait the
viewership.
whole 5 minutes of the first pick just to hear the same name we all knew was going to get picked from the beginning of the summer.
The Raiders are going to start hugging each other like, oh, we got it. I was like,
as if they didn't know they were going to take for it. Is
the draft to the Raiders when we get a good pick is definitely the Super Bowl for us. Like, oh my God, we got it.
But and this could potentially lead you toward a Super Bowl. You don't know.
I'll be happy. Like I said, I trust Tom Brady, whatever they're doing over there.
What?
What?
Okay,
I'm sorry. I forgot you're a Dolphins fan. So that's
it's hard to hear from Raider fans backing Brady,
trusting Tom.
Yeah, I'm like,
what, you think he's gonna screw us over?
Just what happened?
No, he's not. But here's the thing: it's the tuck rule,
baby. Just win, baby. That's his thing.
This is true, but again, with him, it's weird just because of the tuck rule and everything. I'm still not used to it. I get it. He's part of the ownership group, so you kind of have to trust in the guy. If he traded Max Crosby to the Patriots, though, I'd have a lot of questions.
He does things to help out the Patriots. Okay.
This would be a Derek Jeter, New York Yankees kind of thing for me, because I truly believe at one point Jeter was shipping out players to the Yankees just solely because he was the general manager of the Marlins and had the relationships with them.
Okay,
I do believe there's a little bit of that, but it wouldn't surprise me if Tom would do the same thing for the Patriots at one point.
We'll see. Now that you mentioned that, I'll keep an eye on that.
I'm just saying,
there's nothing I can really do over here in Bakersfield. Just like, hey, keep an eye on Tom Brady.
Tinfoil hat. Nothing that's really like leading me in that direction at all. I do trust Tom Brady as well, but if he makes some major deal with the Patriots, I'm gonna have my questions.
Yeah,
that's all I'm gonna say. But back to the comedy part of all of this. Are you going to be there tonight on Monday?
Yeah, I'll be there tonight.
How often are you at open mics?
I'm there often. There'll be times I'll just take a week off or something like that, or even fill a week off. But I was like, I don't want to go to this day. I'll just go another day. Family, friends, just hanging out, or don't want to do it because there's times we go to LA for the open mics too, or showcases out there as well.
How often are you down in LA doing it?
I'll probably say I pop up to LA at least once a month, but then even then, like probably less than that, once every other month.
How do you see, or what do you see rather, in the differences with the crowds between LA and here?
Oh man, we're super conservative over here, man.
Really?
It feels like you know how Bakersfield's a farm town. We're a farm city,
right?
But it seems like more Republicans and just more.
So it really does just kind of boil down to that.
Yeah, because there's times where you go to LA, they love the jokes, but it's just like they get turned off by certain subjects or stuff like that. Or if you're not funny enough, they'll just
yeah.
But when you're in the room full of comics, they're a little different, like Bakersfield. But the audience itself would most likely be more liberal, which is kind of a crazy deal.
So you have to go with a completely different set, I would assume.
I would just say cut out this or that, but not completely switch up your whole set. Just like, you think they're gonna really like this joke? It's like, not really.
Oh, okay, well that makes sense. I mean, again, we were talking about that the other day with just the differences in audiences and how do you have to gauge that as a comedian. So as somebody that's been in it for 7 years, has there been a story is there a story that you have that didn't go as well as you would hoped?
That's every set. Every time I step on stage, it is always a heck no. But that's why I like the Roast Battle show, man. Especially hosting it. The crowd is there for the gore. They're there for a good time. They're not there like, I don't want to hear it. No, they want to hear everything, and especially if it's funny. And if you're not funny, the crowd will immediately turn on you as like in the Apollo, like boo, like it's just so much energetic in there. But even when it's their jokes are bad and it's chaotic, it's still a fun time as like we get to enjoy this bomb together.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And do you kind of think anybody's going to bomb? Be honest. You can say
Performance
it,
because we're gonna have stand-up comedy performances.
you
No, he has a lot of energy.
Okay, sure. I mean, I'm just saying.
So
I've heard a lot of smack talk from Trevor, yet I
So-
have yet to hear a single beef thrown.
So right now, live on Prize Picks, we have him as plus 400. So he's
Okay.
he's the underdog on this one.
Okay.
So
okay.
It's because I'm saving it for the show.
Right.
You see,
He's
why am I
keeping
gonna?
it-
Why am I?
Was that?
Don't blow your load way early.
Yeah, well, here, I don't.
No, I'm gonna kill. It's like, no, that's not the point.
Thanks, Andrew. Way to give me game tape before the roast. Yeah, that's a smart idea.
Bet's just texted in.
Dummy.
If you guys want to go out to this roast battle this Sunday, we've got tickets. Just call or text in 661-842-2000. But the show tonight, what time do they show up?
Show up at 6:30 if you want to sign up. The show starts at 7. Come out for the burgers and fries special and stay for the comedy.
And obviously, he just wants you to come out and watch comedy, so you don't watch the Michigan Wolverines, right?
Also, yes.
No, they'll be playing that at the same
I
time.
know.
If you watch during, if you really want to get me angry, watch the Michigan game during my set. Then I'll go nuclear. Then that'll be watch that for just the
that
fun.
would be so, would be hilarious. And I don't mean to make that a slight against you, but if I ever went on a Monday in this type of situation and Michigan was playing, I would convince everybody in the crowd as soon as you walked up, just say, "All right, let's go watch the Michigan game."
I would be okay with that in a way because I would just at that point throw out my script and throw out what I'm doing working on that week and be like, all right, this is just the chaotic set tonight. I'm just gonna go nuts.
That is so great. How many comics did you guys have last week?
I want to say 18 comics last week.
Okay, so you guys continue up the healthy amount here.
Absolutely. The comics love it. Anywhere that there's a crowd, comics seem to just gather like roaches. So the fact that we seem to have a dozen people there most nights, even in the downtime when it's not Monday Night Football every week, like this, hey, we're as open mic hosts, me and Tyson are kind of living the dream right now. This is great.
That's fantastic. And we've talked about it with a couple other people, but talk about how important open mics are for you in your career with comedy, because I've heard a lot of different comedians say it's kind of where they just work on their stuff and practice everything.
Yeah, no, big time. I think also too, like now that we have the comedy club open, if you do great, there's to be set of the night, so you get an opportunity to show them, hey, I'm funny enough to be on a showcase. Same thing when you go to LA, if you go to an open mic and you think somebody's funny or they thought you were funny, that's always a good connection right there. Practicing it is something that you just do every day. Like before you even go on stage, you're already saying the jokes out loud to yourself before you go up there. So it's fun to execute it on stage, but also too, I think it comes with the networking that comes with the open mics where you can meet some good people, not just here, but in LA. When you go I went to Texas, I got to meet Lemaire. He's the guy that runs what do you call it? Matt and Shane's secret podcast. Yeah, so I met Lemaire and he followed me back on Instagram, and this was from an open mic out there. So just opportunities like that always are great, and practicing yourself, it's always guaranteed.
This just popped in my head right now, but as the host of the roast battles, are you going to be going more Nick Cannon host in here? Are we talking Wilmer Valderrama? Like, how are we going to be doing this?
Well, I'm gonna say Nick Cannon because I don't know who the other guy is, but
you don't remember Wilmer?
Who's that? Fez?
Your mama? Yeah, Fez.
Oh man, dude, I want to be like Nick Cannon, but I'm gonna give off Fez vibes.
Yeah.
He
was the host of the Yo Mama show, right?
I
Yeah.
have no idea.
You don't remember Yo Mama on MTV?
I believe, that was the case.
Yeah, because I want to be fun and corny, but I'm gonna be as lame as like, you ready? You ready? Like,
Exactly,
just, not even
dude.
cool.
Pump up the
But that's why I
crowd.
have my co-host Danny Castro. He said to let you guys know, go Raiders.
Nice.
He believes in them. But he's a fun dude to have around, so it's gonna be a good time up there with him as well.
Will you guys also be the judges?
I'm not gonna be a judge. We already have our 3 judges. I'm not sure
Okay.
if Nathaniel Webb's been on here.
Nice. Yeah.
And then I got one influencer, and then we have Mamon. We have a Julian. He's a big time.
Okay, yeah, I've met Julian Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Gonzalez, right?
Yeah, Julian Gonzalez. He's a big time social media guy, but then he became a comedian.
Mhm.
So that should be fun. I said, I have a real estate agent that's a judge. I met her at an influencer thing, and she's very snappy. Like we were conversating, she would just talk shit, trash to other people. And
So she's snippy. She's got it.
yeah, she guys was like, let me see. And she's the only woman on the show. It's like, all right, guys, let's do this.
Absolutely. That's going to be so much fun.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for this show. It's this Sunday, right?
Yes.
This
Where
Sunday.
can people get tickets?
At the wellcomedyclub.com.
And how much are they? Do you know?
$15 plus fees.
Okay, fantastic. Is there a chance to buy at door or?
Yeah, there's a chance to buy the doors. Yes, but it'll be best if you do it online before you get there.
Okay,
Yeah,
Don't
'cause
wait
it's
till the
the-
last minute.
never.
this
never
one
wait till last
has a
minute.
very high chance of selling out before the doors. So
Yeah.
yeah, definitely get your tickets early.
And then obviously Major Laugh Mondays tonight
And
at Firehouse.
you got it. Tonight, sign up 6:30, show at 7. Come hang out. It'll be a great time. You'll see comics like Anthony Rivers and a bunch of the comics we've had on before, including Danny Castro.
And before we let you go, I know we talked about it during the break, but you're a UFC fan. Thoughts on the White House card, real quick?
Oh man, I'm excited for it. Justin Gaethje versus Ilia Topuria. I know this is the story. Everybody thinks that Justin's gonna get knocked out first round, all this, but I believe in Justin.
If we have an American get knocked out in the main event of this on the White House lawn, this is going to be so embarrassing for the American.
It will be but besides that, like I said, it's gonna distract us from a lot of things.
This is why we needed John Jones on this card in the main event, because
John Jones versus Alex Pereira would have been a simple. John Jones would have smashed Alex Pereira. I don't think anybody understands that he would have
even with bad hips.
Yeah,
'Cause
even
that's
with
the
bad
whole
hip.
point.
Oh, dude, yeah. Did you not see his last video? His DUI rant.
Yeah. I've seen it, but it's kind of like the Ryan Garcia thing. I try to just kind of blur it out in the forefront. I like to see them as good athletes, not what we see on the internet.
But no, with that one, I'm really excited. I'm a Justin Gaethje fan. When he fought Paddy Pitlam, the last fight, I was in bed, like just all sick. And then when he socked him in the face, I got up like
let's go.
And my girl's in bed, just like, what? Just go to sleep. It's like just the eye pokes, and it was just such a chaotic fight.
Yeah,
I'm so excited for the Ilia Topuria. He might make Ilia Topuria get uncomfortable for all you know.
This is true.
He might just come at him with too much pressure, but you never know. Ilia could just sock him in the face and just done.
What? Before we run out of time, I want to throw this at you too. What are your thoughts on the Ronda Rousey Gina Carano thing that's going to be going too?
I think we can end it right here.
Yeah.
No.
After this, we're done.
Like everybody's answer to this, dude. I don't think anybody's excited for this fight.
I'm no one's, I'm excited for the card. I'm excited to see the Netflix card, which is, you're gonna bring back old names, which is Nate Diaz versus Mike Perry.
Yeah.
Who else? And Francis. I'm
Francis Ngannou.
I want to see a fight from Francis Ngannou, so I know that. And then they had a couple guys that were kicked out of the UFC for bad things. And fighters from one championship.
I'm waiting for Matt Riddle to take a job somewhere along the line here.
Oh, really?
He hasn't done well. He's been doing wrestling still, but there's something about what he's doing right now that's making me feel like he's going to try to go back into MMA because it's just not working at the WWE level for him. So, it hasn't been working at that level for him for a while. He's been fired from that company for a little bit. He can't get hired anywhere else, so it's just seems to me like, why not make the transition back to MMA since they're letting everybody else pick up fights again?
Yeah, and there's just all these off brands, like I said, Netflix to what I think PFL's coming back.
Yeah,
I heard something about that,
something like that. Yeah.
And then what? No, and then Bellator. What was it? It was a PFL Bellator coming together. I think they're going to switch up the whole branding back to Bellator. So just all this stuff. So people are going to have opportunities,
right?
And Steve Gable, I think he was the guy. He's John Jones' apprentice, which is he was a world champion for the Olympics and also national champion at a junior college level. So that's crazy. So I'm excited to see that guy, whatever happens with him. But the UFC White House card, I'm excited for that. The Ronda Rousey,
it is what
get
it
your
is.
money, girl.
I think that's going to be the most unique venue for any UFC fight. I still think they're going to lose a ton of money on this. That's the only issue. Because there's no way you pack enough people in that place to actually make money off of this.
Well, yeah, but it's also too first of all, it has to be like $1 million ticket, especially for the high elite, because
absolutely, like you have to make money off of this at some point.
Yeah. But hey, it's America, man. We're about burning money. They borrow money from China to do this.
If this ends up just being a UFC event for Donald Trump and all of his buddies, I'm gonna be so upset. But at the same time, that's what Dana White and TKO want. So
yeah,
it's just gonna put eyes on the product. Who knows? But gentlemen, we have run out of time. We got to let you go. One more time, Major Laugh Mondays.
Major Laugh Mondays tonight, Rosedale Firehouse Station. 6:30 sign up. 7 o'clock is the show.
And then Anthony, roast battles on Sunday.
Yeah, we have roast battles Sunday, April 12th at 6 p.m.
Fantastic.
And we got a message from Tyson saying he's going to be out. He said all the comedians are going to be out Wednesday night for the Condors game. He said buy a ticket for $20. Let them know you're with Tyson, and they'll put you guys with them. And if we can get 50, we'll go on the ice after the game about halfway there.
Oh, man.
Nice.
I might get my brother a ticket then.
There you go. Get somebody involved. I mean, there's got to be enough of you guys to be able to pull off 50.
Yeah. Well, in the scene, we can get close, but with friends and family, we can
Oh,
probably
yeah,
get it
we'll
over
get
the
there.
line.
I think we can make this happen, gentlemen. So, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate you guys. And Trevor, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah, see you in 2 weeks, guys.
Fantastic.
Thanks
Let's
so
take a
much.
break. We got to talk basketball snacks on the other side. This is the Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk. Welcome back. Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk, 101.1 FM, 1230 AM. It's time to talk basketball with our guy Snacks from 93.1. He's also one of the best local referees here, basketball-wise, in town. Good, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
You ready for the national championship tonight?
Yeah, let's go Michigan.
You going Michigan on this
Yeah.
one? See, I'm the lone gun. I'll be sticking with Dan Hurley then. All right, fine. I
Yep,
will.
You're by yourself. You're all by yourself.
I will
I had to hear
believe-
all that Arizona crap last week, and now
true.
it's
I'm sorry. I got nothing against Michigan whatsoever. There's something about this that's making me feel Dan Hurley. I mean,
No,
undefeated against the spread after the Sweet 16, 11-0.
it's going to take Michigan to come out and play like the UConn girls in order for them to lose.
Oh, and I did see the update right when we went to break that Angel got traded.
Angel Reese.
Yep.
Oh, great. Where's she headed?
I'm looking at the details. It looks like after her comments that she made, they were shopping her, and I'll have to get back to you.
Well, yeah, we'll get into that at some point.
Oh, she's traded to the Dream.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens there. But in terms of the national championship tonight, obviously Michigan, UConn, as we were talking about, what do you feel about this game that's making you go with Michigan?
I just think they've just been a team all year that's been the most consistent. Their bigs play really well. They just play really well as a team, for one. And I think they're well coached. The Big Blue is back. Hopefully they don't have any allegations after the season, because you know something about Michigan, and allegations never go well.
True.
But I just think they've been the most consistent. They have the most chemistry right now, especially if number 23 is back healthy from his ankle injury that he got in the game. But again, I'm with you though. You got to give UConn. UConn has come out of nowhere. Nobody's talked about them all season really. They've had an up and down season. Hurley crazy stuff might be more theatrical on the sideline, so it might be a little bit more entertaining to have them in the game. But I just see Michigan, their bigs have been phenomenal all year, and they've just been blowing people out the whole tournament. Like, I think their point spread has been 15 plus, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm going, and I've always been a Michigan fan since the Fab Five. So just to see them back in this state is good for college basketball.
I agree. I think that Michigan being good at basketball is great for the game. With Dan Hurley now looking at potentially 3 championships in 4 years, it's really hard for me to go the opposite direction. But I've asked this question to a couple people who have come on the show now. If Dan does win and we are looking at a 3 championships in 4 years type situation, do you think that we have to start talking about him as one of the best, if not like in the same realm as a Wooden or a Krzyzewski? Now, not obviously he's 3 on that list if we're going to go down that line, but he's working his way up there, right?
Yes. I think the thing with Hurley though is his antics will keep him out of that conversation.
Fair.
What I mean by that is that like the headbutting of the ref and sometimes the comments that he says. He's very, very a really, really confident coach. And so I think those little small things in today's game and in today's world where everybody's so much more sensitive, his antics will keep him out of that conversation. But his stats, you have to put him in that conversation, because he's been doing wonders when it comes to tournament time, and he's been winning. So I mean, you have to have him in that conversation. But people be like, "Oh no, he's not a Coach K, he's not a Roy Williams," because those guys have just been clean. The whole time, and I think his antics will overshadow the true conversation that needs to be had around him.
So you don't think that if he cleans it up after this season, that would just kind of fade away in the back part of it all?
Now, if he cleans it up, then yes, he's going to have to be in that conversation.
Right.
I agree with you that we're going to have to start having that conversation of.
Not saying that he's going to clean it up, but to be honest, it's Dan Hurley, and he's been this way for a while. I just thinking in my head, because I was kind of saying the same thing about the Dawn Staley situation. Love her as a coach, but now she's responsible for 2 of the biggest blowouts in D1 women's basketball history. Like, as great as she is, there's got to be like some sort of damage to her legacy now, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, and I think those are, I wouldn't say two totally different conversations, but you're still going to, like with the Don Staley situation, his is antics, hers is performance.
Well, I'm sorry, with the Don Staley thing, I was more going to get to the entire not handshake traditional thing that they're all talking about right now between her and Gino.
Oh, the Gino thing, I don't know if people know, but they've had a beef for a long time.
Right.
Those two have been. I just thought Gino, it was a bad timing, horrible timing on the situation. Considering that everybody, if you've been following women's basketball, know that you two have always had attention. You've just always tried to be adults about it, and then doing it on a big stage like that was just. I think wife would probably tell you that he was wrong on that in that regard. Like there's no you can hide behind that. All the proof is in the pudding. So I don't think Don's legacy would be out the window, or she will never be in the conversation because she is the conversation.
Right.
I mean, outside of Pat Summitt and like two other, but the old Notre Dame coach and like two other coaches, who else are you going to talk about when it comes to women's basketball? She's the GOAT now.
Well, and with the antic situation as a referee, like, should we even really read into this? The whole not shaking each other's hands at half court. Does that really matter?
Yeah. I was having a conversation with a couple of people. I think where people were failing to realize what Gino was talking about is that sometimes coaches, while the teams are warming up, they'll meet center circle and have conversations. Like this happens all the time at my games where the two coaches, if they cool with each other, that's kind of like NFL where the NFL coaches will meet center circle while the teams are stretching and warming up and all that. So he was talking about that particular meeting. The one that everybody's showing, they're thinking that they're talking about that one where she walked past and shook everybody's hand. Yeah, that normally happens before the game, but it's typically while the teams are like stretching and warming up or people coming in and out of locker rooms, the two coaches meet in a circle, and that's what he was talking about. But that's not something that you have to do. Neither one of those you have to do that. So I don't know where Gino was coming from, why he was so mad because she didn't show up to speak.
It's just the salt of it all is really what I think everybody's really leaning on here.
And it got overshadowed the weekend, and it was a bad move on his part.
And that's why I was saying earlier in the show is that we should be talking about really UCLA winning their first championship, but everybody's more focused on the Don Staley Gino situation. But
yeah, and that's going to be talked about more than the UCLA championship the rest of the year. So.
Right. And that's the issue that I have with it as well. Shifting over to the NBA, though, we just heard that Luka is going overseas to handle this whole hamstring situation. The Lakers definitely need him to come back, obviously, in order to make a run at all. Sparky and I will talk about it multiple times on the show, though. We don't believe the Lakers make a run just because the Spurs and the Thunder are both in the way. But in your opinion, how necessary is home court for them to make a run if they do at all?
For me, the Lakers are going to need all the help they can get. LeBron at 41 years old is not going to be able to carry a team through a playoff series. And just in my opinion, and they're just talking basketball. As great as he is, and his IQ as high as it is, I just don't see him being able to carry a team. And I think that they're third in the West right now.
Yep.
And I can't really say that with Luka. I mean, yeah, Luka's great on the offensive end. He doesn't play any defense, so that can only get you so far in the playoffs. The difference between those other two teams, they play on both ends. At least they have 2 to 3 other players that's going to play defense on the other end when it comes to the Spurs and OKC. Even OKC's best player, he's phenomenal on the defensive end. Sometimes he'll sit down and guard the best player. The Lakers don't have anybody like that because sometimes LeBron, yes, he can play defense, but he doesn't want to guard the best player, nor does he. I don't think he has the endurance to do so and play both ends like that. So I don't know how far. I see the Lakers, if lucky, making it past the first round and done the second. But that's all I got for the Lakers.
Pretty much. I mean, that's pretty much what we've been saying. And over the weekend, I got to watch, Denver and San Antonio, which was a hell of a game. Mm-hmm. We got Joker against Wemby, and I'm hoping for a series like that with the playoffs a little over a week, I believe. and teams are starting to lock in. And I know you brought up the Pistons, who've locked in the number 1 seed even without their best player. I mean, is there a team that, I mean, not the teams that we usually talk about, that you think could put up a fight with OKC if that's who is in it?
I still remain with the Spurs. I think they give them the best challenge in the West. But I have realized that Denver is as we would say for college, a March team. They come out of nowhere. I mean, I don't know how they do it, especially that Mary at the guard position, and Jokic, he finally wakes up and starts bringing his stuff out the bag. And so I don't know if these teams like just do enough to get back to the playoffs and just really bring it, and we see totally different teams. But I see Denver making a run. If anybody's going to beat San Antonio, it's going to be Denver. I don't see anybody beating OKC in a whole series. Now, if this was a 1-game series type of situation, I could see a couple upsets. But since these are like 14-game series, as I'm exaggerating, 7-game series, they're mad long. I got OKC winning it all in the end.
And speaking of a West team, we just heard Steph Curry is back in the lineup and hoping for a final push. I believe they're playing right now in the 10th or in the play-in.
Yeah, they're just barely in the play-in tournament.
Is it kind of the same thing where that time that kind of has flown by, you think, or Golden State can put a push together to even be a contender?
Hey, man, sitting out 2 weeks, 2 months? I mean, 2 months and come back and ball like that. You have to have the slogan in your vocabulary. Anytime you got Steph, you got a chance.
Right.
You got a chance. I mean, come back and score almost 30 points after sitting out for 2 months, and it seemed like he didn't lose a beat.
I was gonna say, make it look easy.
Just make it look easy. I think you got to. When I say you got a chance to get a chance of being in the playoffs after having a play-in game. So. And the way he played last night, I think he just came in a little late, or they couldn't get over the hump. And the thing with Golden State, they've had issues in the fourth quarter. They played phenomenal in the first 3 quarters. The fourth quarter, I don't know what happens with them, but they go downhill. But again, they haven't had Steph in those moments. So I just think if you got Steph, you got a chance. So I'll leave it at that. What a phenomenal performance last night.
It's incredible to see what he can do. And honestly, you chalk up as many threes as this dude does on a daily basis. I guess muscle memory just never leaves you.
And they come fast. Those shots come.
Yeah, they do.
Man, Jiminy Christmas.
Have you seen this GOAT movie that he made? I need to watch this thing.
Great movie.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I need to watch this. I keep seeing clips of it. It looks really, really good.
I have not. What is it on?
It's a cartoon movie that came out in theaters, about a couple months ago?
Yeah, I think
a year ago.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
I think it's starting to get released right now.
Yeah, on streaming services. I don't know exactly where you could find it, but it looks phenomenal. It looks incredibly, incredibly entertaining. Real quick before we let you go, with a week left in the season, who's your MVP right now? SGA, Wemby, Luka, or Joker?
It's going to be between SGA and Wemby, and if I had to choose, oh man, that's tough because both of them having a great year. I'm going to go Wemby with a shocker.
Are you? See, that's what I think. I think this is the year they kind of let Wemby win it, or maybe they wait till next year when LeBron inevitably retires and they use that as the passing of the torch moment. But I was looking it up yesterday just to see what the percentages were of potentially who wins this dang thing. Wemby's lower than you think. Actually, and Joker's higher than I was expecting too. I did not expect him to be that high up on the percentage list or listing here, but I think you're right. I think that the league will make a decision and just say, we got to give it to our next face of the league and get this thing started.
Yeah, have to, because the next 3 faces is SGA, Wemby, and Ant.
Right.
And keep noted, those top 2 odd names are European or foreign basketball players.
And like I said, I don't know what it is about America, but we just can't embrace a foreign player. It should have been Giannis forever ago, but they just never fully gave it to him.
And I'm right there with you. I have no idea why, because those dudes ball.
Absolutely. And they're incredible, incredible basketball players. And I lied to you. I'm sorry. I got one more question for you because I saw this story last week and I wanted to bounce it off you because we've talked about this. But the NCAA is proposing a rule change that will bar athletes from leaving or who have left for the draft from coming back and playing at whatever sport they played in college. And on top of that, the government is now also proposing a limitation for athletes for the transfer situation, giving them 5 years and 1 transfer limit for every athlete. Do you think this helps the NIL situations that we've been talking about? And does this deter athletes from transferring?
I think it helps tremendously. And I think the thing that we're missing with the NIL situation, I think every parent or adult that's, had to work for anything would agree that transferring is not helping you once you graduate. And it's, especially with athletes, I think the biggest thing athletes come across when they're done with any sport that they play is, what do I do now? I've never met an athlete who did not progress on in their career, not struggle on what to do next with their life. And I don't think the NIL is helping in that situation. They making so much money fast. But once you're no longer getting free meals anymore, 3 meals a day, that check stop coming through, you move back home to wherever that may be. Now you're back in your parents' house and you're not getting that $300,000 that the school is offering. But nobody's ever offered those type of lifestyle or those type of curriculums or criteria to these kids while they're making all this money. So I think this is a phenomenal idea that you can only transfer because you can't. When you don't have a job, you just can't keep moving. I mean, people do. I don't know how people find jobs so fast.
I don't either.
Some of my friends find jobs within a week, and I'm like, yo, how do you do it? But that's not always the case for the typical human being. And so I don't think we're teaching them life skills and like really competing with life outside of sports.
Right.
Being able to, transfer that much. So I think this is a phenomenal thing. It's something that should have been happening. I think they still have more work to do with the NIL, but it's really going to make these families and these student athletes think twice about transferring, because now I really got to choose a school that I really, really have a love for instead of, let me see how this go this year. No, I don't like it. They weren't paying me enough. I'm moving on.
Right. No, that's what I was thinking as well. I mean, with the 1 transfer limit, that's going to help. And it's like Calipari said, if these guys are transferring to 4 different schools in 4 years, they're not graduating, which means you're definitely setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that's what this was all supposed to do, was to get you an education to set yourself up for a future, whether that be in basketball or whatever your sport is, or something outside of that. But my friend, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you as always. We will talk to you next week.
All love, fellas. Talk to you.
Thanks, brother. We got to get out of here for the day. Thank you guys for joining us. Join us back here tomorrow, 7 to 9 a.m. But until then, we'll round up all the best in the world of sports entertainment. We got KG tomorrow. We'll talk about wrestling as we inch closer to WrestleMania. And myself and Sparky will talk to you all about it tomorrow. But until then, Sparky, let's get out of here, my friend.